Dynamic increasing returns and external economies of scale. So what happens is that external economies of scale can also arise due to the experience, right? Due to the accumulation of knowledge. Uh, so they can arise due to accumulation of knowledge. Now, who is acquiring knowledge? One particular firm who is building up its resource base, who is building up its knowledge base, that is acquiring knowledge. And when that firm expands, the knowledge base of the industry as a whole, it also expands. How? Because that knowledge gets spilled over to the other firms as well. They learn from that. They start imitating the product, right? And hence the level of the industry goes up. And what also happens at the same time is that the production cost of the industry as a whole, it starts falling. So let me just write these points for you. So there is an individual firm. That individual firm improves its product. Right? When it improves its product, I mean, and it has improved its product through learning, through experience. The other firms, they also start imitating this bigger firm, the product of this bigger firm, right? So there is a spillover of knowledge from this firm which has improved its product to the other firms. They start imitating the product, they start creating a better product also for themselves. And this spillover of knowledge, it actually give rise to the fall in the production costs, right? And right, so the production cost of individual firms fall over time, right? So industry cost is based on the experience. Industry cost is based on the cumulative experience, right? The cumulative output, what you can produce. So, and you are able to produce more and more of output. I mean, the cumulative output. So, of course, when you have started, when the industry has just started, when there are only few firms in the market, the output is small. But then the output would also get bigger. Uh, and you can produce that bigger output at a lower cost than the cost at which you have started off with. So this is giving the rise to a learning curve. This is what is giving the rise to learning curve. So just write one line. Industry costs depend upon experience. Right? And how do you measure this experience? You measure this experience by the cumulative output which is produced by the industry, right? So usually measured by right, of the industry. Right. So this kind of relation, it is a relationship between the unit cost and the cumulative output, that is called learning curve. Unit cost, which is relating unit cost and the cumulative output, that is what is called learning curve. Right. They're downward sloping. So you have cumulative output, you have learning curve, right? And this is what the learning curve will look like, right? Okay. With time, you are producing more, cumulative output is expanding, but your unit costs are falling, right? Unit costs are falling. So I should not be writing learning curve here. I should be rather writing unit cost. I'm so sorry. And since there is a time involved, because over time your cumulative output is expanding, and with that unit costs are falling. So these are referred to as dynamic. This is referred to as the case of dynamic increasing returns, right? Now, there can be a case like this, that is supposedly if there is one country and in order to produce, let's say, Q1 amount of output, this is the cost which it has to incur, right? Okay. Then what happens? There is another country. Oh, there's another country which comes up. So if you look at the another country, it can actually produce the same amount of output at still lower cost than C1, but initially it would have to spend C naught star. Initially it would have to spend C naught star. So it won't be able to come into the market, because how can you convince so many firms to come and spend C naught star initially and then wait for the time till you can actually produce Q1, and then you will be able to beat the other country? It is very difficult, right? So even this case gives the head start to one of the country which has started the process, which has already established the industry for this product, right? So it gives the first country a large head start, one thing. Achha, this is also related to the idea of infant industry argument. Now, how can you say that this is related to the infant industry argument? So what you can say is, say for example, I'm living in country which has L1 learning curve, and you are from L0 learning curve. I want to compete with you, right? But I cannot compete because I have to pay a very huge initial cost, which I may not be able, to take up in case of the trade is there. So first of all, what I'll do is that I'll say, fine, no trade. Whatever we have to produce, we will be producing in our own country. Then there will be people who will be interested, because now they do not have to compete with L0. So what they will be doing is that they will have to compete with, they do not have to compete with the international market. They will be producing the product for the domestic market. and they will nurture their domestic industry. When they will nurture their domestic industry, what will happen? That they will be able to establish the industry till Q1 output is being produced. Now, that initial head start, which the other country had, that has gone, because the new country has also been able to establish an industry which can produce Q1, and it can produce Q1 at a lower cost, right? So this is an idea. So this is an idea that let us protect our industry temporarily so that it is in a better position to compete with the world market, right? So this is about the dynamic increasing returns and external economies of scale. Thank you, Vita.